Netvibes, the end of the boring start page. When you open the browser, what do you see? Is it a start page carefully chosen? For many, it's whatever it was the day the computer came out of the box. This article shows how to design a start page that's actually helpful. Imagine opening the browser and your calendar, emails, weather forecast, commonly used bookmarks, news, a calculator, and a notepad are all there. Now that would be a helpful start page. That's exactly what I have, and you can have it too. A little history with start pages. In the fall of 2007, I wrote about my experience with iGoogle, and you can read that post. It's located at bit.ly/frankbuck112. That's bit.ly/frankbuck112. All of that's in lowercase. 5 years later, Google announced it was shutting down the service. Within the day, I'd found another service, Netvibes. A few months later, I found something that suited my taste even better, though, and it was called IG Home. It worked well for me, and I've taught countless people how to set up IG Home and use it as their own homepage. But it's time to make a change again. You see, a funny thing started happening over the last year. An increasing number of gadgets available in the library were no longer working. Then a reader pointed out to me a personal experience. She changed a link on the black bar, and all of the links returned to their defaults. She also mentioned the inability to change the search engine embedded in IG Home. And finally, she reported that links allowing users to report issues were no longer there. I found what the reader was saying to be true. Having saved the email address for the developer, I reached out several times. No response. Well, folks, it's time to make a change. I can no longer recommend IG Home, and my current recommendation is a service I'd used long in the past, Netvibes. You can have it up and going in a few minutes, so let's get started. As you create your account, you may want to pause this podcast and open this week's post. It's located at bit.ly/frankbuck113, bit.ly/frankbuck113, all in lowercase. You're going to see diagrams that make the setup a breeze. So here's what we're going to do. First, go to netvibes.com and click on the Try Now button. Secondly, on the next page, you can choose some interest. Now, this step is optional, and I recommend skipping it. The result is Netvibes is going to create a tab corresponding to each interest. Each tab will contain news stories aligned with that topic. Number 3, the next page asks more about your interest. It will add even more tabs to your Netvibes. This page is also optional, and I recommend skipping it as well. Scroll to the bottom of the page and select Dashboard It. Your dashboard will appear, and now the fun begins, adding to Netvibes. So next we're going to add essential apps. Be sure that you're on the Welcome tab. Click on it just to be sure. Click on the green Add button in the upper left of the screen and look for Essential Apps in the left column. If it's not visible, expand the Apps menu. Select the green Add to your Dashboard button. Add the apps of your choice. You can always return and add more later. When finished, click the green Add button again. Now you're back at your dashboard. You'll find that you can drag the apps around the page as desired. You have additional control over the looks of that page as well. Click the drop-down arrow on the Welcome tab. In the Tab Layout section, experiment with the choices that you see. I chose 3 boxes, and all of the apps appeared in one of 3 columns. When you're done, click the X in the upper right corner of the dark box. Next, let's look at working with tabs. If you selected any interest earlier, each one appears as its own tab. Delete any tab by clicking the drop down to the right of its name, and you'll see a delete option. The same drop-down allows you to change a tab's name or add an icon beside the name. Likewise, clicking the plus at the far right allows you to add more tabs. My preference, use only one tab. And if you choose to add a great deal of reading content to your page, you may want more tabs. But I want to tell you about my favorite app. The Bookmarks is my favorite app of all. Yes, now I do use Google Bookmarks, and it stores several hundred sites collected over years and boasts a host of tags. But this Bookmarks app on my Netvibes page contains what you might call the few, the proud, each with appropriate tags. If you come over to the blog post, you're going to see some images. You're going to see my productivity treasure chest displayed. The 13 bookmarks within that tab are the tools that I use on a daily basis. In next week's post, we'll talk about 5 free sites to make PDFs less painful. Well, you'll see those and others if I clicked the Converters tab. Next, we're going to make Netvibes your start page. Now, the idea is that when you open your browser, you want Netvibes to display automatically. In other words, it's the start page. I prefer to also make it my home page, which means that's the page that loads when I click the house icon to the left of the address bar. For instructions on how to make this happen in any browser, go to this address, bit.ly/FrankBuck114. Again, bit.ly/FrankBuck114, all in lowercase. Well, that's enough for now. Netvibes has capabilities beyond what I use. For example, I don't use potions. Instead, I use an entirely different service, if this then that, to automate actions between different services. Netvibes offers an upgrade option to a paid version, but I don't think I need it. The free version gives me everything I want and need. Get started by clicking on your Netvibes page. Also, how about sharing this post? If you're a Twitter user, click the tweetable in the blog post. And beneath the post, you'll see icons to share on Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, or LinkedIn. Also, leave a comment about what else you might want to include on your page. The pilot in the cockpit sees a dashboard filled with helpful information. When you open your browser, you'll see the same thing. Finally, your browser opens to something that's truly helpful, and you can have it today. This has been Frank Buck. Thanks for listening. Now go and have the time of your life.